were raised Catholic,
I
right?
was raised Catholic.
Come on back, Bill. The door is always open.
I do admit there are things in the universe I don't understand.
Okay.
But my response to that is not to make up silly stories.
Do you believe in God?
Me?
Creator?
Yeah, so I'm, the more I look at the universe, just the less convinced I am that there is something benevolent going on.
I know you're an avowed atheist. How can you be so certain that there is no supernatural, godlike entity out there?
Even the very art we all
He just like totally cuts off his response. they left the face in, which was nice. I'm surprised they even left that, and I'm surprised they didn't just blur that out. So, no, they are very certain that they know that a magical thing that somebody somewhere could define as a god is actually out there, whatever. But that's anyway. We're gonna get into it. I am Brentley. This is a channel where we use irreverent humor to heal from religious trauma. I'm Brentley, and this is Punk Apostate. Let's go. So I got like two different channels or two different videos that were they immediately came up, and they both had atheist in the title. And this one was atheist proves the Matrix is actually about Jesus. Whoa, you got us there. Okay, some movie was actually about Jesus. My goodness. And isn't that one like super obvious? Like I thought everybody already knew this. Like this is not earth, like they make repeated nods to Christianity and him being the chosen one and him coming back to life and it being like the real world isn't the real world and the spirit world, like it's super fucking obvious. I thought like that was just, who watched that movie and was like, this could not possibly be about Jesus? Like, who did that? I don't understand. Because it's like, I mean, once you get into the second and third one, I feel like they kind of lose the Christian thread unless it's some other like very esoteric interpretation or something of it. I don't know. But here we go.
escape the story of Jesus. From media to politics to personal relationships, the story of Jesus seems to be around
Charlie
everywhere.
Kirk.
Let's be honest. Atheism is a lot like veganism. If you're a vegan, we all know. From massive creators on YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's unlike all the Christians that they never say anything about what they believe. Jesus Christ, it's so funny. They're like, atheists just have to tell everybody what they believe. Are you kidding me, man? Like, do you know how often I go through my fucking day and have to be like, can't say what I think. Can't say what I think about that. No, people will get mad. No, don't say, Brentley, calm, don't say what you actually think. No, just not allowed to go, oh, that's okay. Okay, say okay a lot, Brentley. Just do it, because he's going to get mad if you say that what you actually know about that not being actually true. Yeah, I'm constantly having to like put like my brain and like, no, shut up. Don't say that you're an atheist. Don't say the fucking argument that you know. Don't say the fallacy that they're clearly engaged in. Don't say, shut up. Like they get mad because everybody hates a skeptic. Fuck atheist. Everybody hates a skeptic, right? That anytime anybody wants to believe some stupid shit, the person they don't want to hear from the fucking most is the one that's like, yeah, that's not reasonable to think. And here's why. You know, everybody fucking hates that guy. Doesn't matter if they're the fucking granola crunch, woo herbal person or whatever, all the way to the fucking Wiccan, pagan, magic, healing rocks. Those are the same people. I don't know why I said those are two different. Anyway, or the religious person, right? That nobody wants to hear from the skeptic. And that's it. So we know that. And so we're constant, but like any time that it just slips through, just the tiniest bit, just slips through, everybody loses. Oh, the atheist has to say what they think all of a sudden. Like, why can't you just sit back and shut up and let everybody else think stuff? Okay. We get to talk about what we think. You don't. Okay. Because you just don't think stuff. So I don't know why you're even thinking that you get to be engaged in this goddamn conversation. You're the one that doesn't think stuff. Get the fuck out of it. Go sit down. Go read it. Go read a Neil deGrasse Tyson book or something, you fucking ass. Like,
that have spent decades of their career trying to pick apart the Bible.
Do you think that this grace, this omnipotence, this love and charity of the Old Testament God is expressed in the instances where he commands the complete obliteration of entire nations of people, including the women and the children, and even the animals.
I was raised Christian fundamentalist and have only been an atheist for about 2.5 years.
To talk show hosts like Bill Maher, who's made an entire documentary dunking on Christianity and religion.
But the Bible is itself an anthology. They found some few decades ago the Dead Sea Scrolls,
Right.
which
Found 'em
were
out.
other books that were just basically edited out. So right away we know a person decided what constituted the Bible, and just some stuff wound up on the cutting room floor.
Yet the desire to know God is so ingrained in our nature that when one
I
says,
mean, isn't that they say like they're picking apart the Bible? Okay, I mean, it doesn't take much, man. All you got to do is read the thing. I can't tell you how often I talk to Christians, those same folks that are around me almost every day, that I have to tell my brain not to actually say the stuff that it's thinking. Those people, how little they actually understand the Bible. It's insane to me. On a deal, I've literally heard him. One time the dude was like trying to tell me, he was talking about the Tower of Babel, but he got none of it right. He was mixing up stories. All of a sudden, the guy, the dude, the king or whatever, fuck, now I can't think of his name, Nimrod. Nimrod was like getting swallowed by a whale, because he wasn't doing what God wanted him to. I'm just like, oh, dude, you're mixing up. You don't know. Whoa, man, like you are. This is so annoying. And yet he's like the good Christian guy. The other day I was like, well, I was like, I have a hard time with even the first commandment. He didn't know what the first commandment was. I was like, why are you a Christian, man? Like, why? Like, I don't understand. Like, how do I, the atheist, know your stuff better than you? This is insane. Like, of course, I didn't say any of that because I'm just like, oh, okay. No, it's okay. I get it. You don't know your book. I'll tell you the thing that it's Jesus Christ. But
as they don't believe in God, they're pressed with more follow-up questions.
You were raised Catholic,
I
right?
was raised Catholic.
Come on back, Bill. The door is always...
and I'm going to just full disclosure, I hate that this guy's our fucking representative out there. Why the hell is Bill Maher the one that, God damn it.
always open.
I do admit there are things in the universe I don't understand.
Okay.
But my response to that is not to make up silly stories.
Do you believe in God?
Me,
Creator?
I like that he said it that way, though. That was at least, good delivery, Bill. Credit where credit's due.
yeah. So the more I look at the universe, just the less convinced I am that there is something benevolent going on.
I know you're an avowed atheist. How can you be so certain that there is no supernatural, godlike entity out there?
Even the very art.
Certain. Like, what a weird. How can you be so certain of the magical, undetectable being that you don't know just happens to not be there? How are you so certain of it not existing? It's like, oh my God, dude. Nope. It's literally the opposite. They're all certain of their thing, and we're just going, yeah, I don't think you're right about that. No, how are you so certain that I'm not right about everything I think? Huh? What? How am I so? And it's like, in any time anybody discovers anything that could even be sort of similar to something that could be analogous to something that's kind of like a creator thing or whatever, it like doesn't have to be a mind or anything. Like just whatever, just anything in science that's like causes something else to happen. There's your God right there. What? Oh, you don't believe in that? And it's like, that's not the God you believe in. Are you fucking? That's something that's like whatever. Like that's some scientific like molecular whatever thing. And they're like, oh, we claim that as a God. But that proves that something causes something. It's like nobody ever had a problem with stuff causing stuff. Like we never said that stuff wasn't caused by stuff. And yet they like try to take that as a God. It's like, my goodness, a God equals more than just something that causes stuff, dude. Like you literally have it as an undead carpenter ghost that you think lives inside of you. That's a little bit more than whatever caused the fucking universe to expand or whatever, man. Like, come on, Jesus Christ. How are we doing? Everybody feeling all right? Doing okay? I know I'm already worked up. I mean, just two different channels calling us out in the title on the same day, within hours of what. Anyway, so we gotta respond. We gotta respond to it. We gotta watch this. But who won today? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Deep State. What's up? How you doing? Hell yeah. And passed the driver's test. Holy shit. Did better than me. That's right. I don't know how many times. It's like, and there was a lot of time in between because I was like, stupid. I'm never taking a stupid test again. It's a driver guy didn't like me. I'm not coming back until that guy's fired. Okay, that guy sucks. Driving is stupid anyway. I don't even want. Why would I want to start? That was like little 15-year-old me. Anyway, and Michael's number 2. I mean, you're not number 2. That sounded rude. I don't know, but you are the second. You're in second place. You should probably do second instead of number 2. There's kind of a negative connotation with number 2, but it's very childish though. It is. I don't even know, like, anybody even addressing it is really childish. Third is Blood Badger. How we doing, man? What's up, dude? And who else we got? Where we got PJ. What's up, dude? Because they cut off Neil's spot. Yeah, they did. Immediately. He's like, and they're like, nope, don't get to hear from him. He's too smart. Might hurt our case here. Drusilla, wait, how's it going? Let's see. We got Michael. Did I already say Michael? Oh yeah, good day. Yeah, yeah. See, I want to see Neil's response. Everybody, I know, right? Like, what the hell, Rusey? What are you doing, man? Like, we're trying to watch a thing here, and he's just taking it out. Who else we got? What's that? Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You know that person, right? They believe silly stuff too, you know. It's like, and it's funny because like the atheist and the Christian can like team up at that point. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, that is so silly. They believe in this stuff. You know, they believe that you got a chakras that you got to align, you know, and one's in your butt. Stupid. And they imagine like a tree growing out or roots growing out their butt. That's one of their practices. I don't know. It's funny. It's stupid. Anyway, I believe in an undead carpenter ghost living inside me that I pretend to cannibalize on a regular basis. But they're silly though. They're silly. They believe stupid stuff. It's like, Jesus Christ. Got Paul. What's up, dude? Hey. Wednesday. Oh, look at the trees. It's here. Damn, we got everybody here. What's up, dude? 4 Christians. What's up, dude? Says Scott. We got Apostate sisters. How are you doing? Batty, what's up? Good morning. Oh, lurking. You're lurking today. All right. No, that's good. I love a good lurk. Where else we got? Did I already say Paul? I did say Paul. Oh, Ember too, though. Oh yeah, Ruslan's Russian ghost. That sounds like a. Well, it really just sounds like a name of somebody that just trolls his account or something, trolls his channel page. I'm Ruslan's Russian ghost. Yes, sounds like something that a troll would do. And Steven's here. What's up, dude? Said, I'm only here for a few minutes. I'm going to Alabama today. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. Just for all this stuff. Do you have to fly? Don't fly right now, please. I mean, or be very careful. You know, check that. Yeah, I don't know. Just check the wings and stuff. Do your, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to do, but just look, check it out. Maybe, you know, make sure it's a good, safe thing going on there. Anyway, all right.
We all consume, whether on a historic level or on a pop culture level, is all riddled with different imagery and symbolism that points back to Jesus. With C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia being a massive allegory about the story of Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, that one was kind of... what is the point here? Is he trying to say that, like, this was all fucking accidental? Like, oh, even in these movies where we were just trying to make a movie and then, boom, we accidentally put an allegory for Jesus in there and just nobody even noticed it was happening. That was the whole point of this damn story to begin with. It's fucking C.S. Lewis. He literally wrote Mere Christianity, which is an apologetic nightmare of nonsense. But, you know, a lot of people think it's good, though.
For children, to C.S. Lewis's close friend J.R.R. Tolkien, who created Lord of the Rings, and even symbolism in stories like Star Wars.
But no, what? How? Okay. Oh, hold on. Now I feel like you're reaching here. All right. Those two are more similar in the sense that they're both about, well, power, obsession with power. And it's, you know, it's funny because I've heard like people say it's all this different stuff, you know, the ring of power. It's literally in the name. It's the ring of fucking power. It's about power. It's about Elon Musk and all the people that are like that, right? That are obsessed with getting more and more power, right? That's what it's about. And it's about how that shit controls you, right? And you know, Star Wars is basically just another version of reality where the space Nazis are always just right about to take over everything. They're just all just right. Almost. There's just the Nazis, fascist psychos are just always about to take over. And that's just reality. That's just, so it's actually a pretty good allegory. And then, of course, they got like, I want to say it's like an Asian samurai type of thing in there, but like a space samurai thing going on. I don't know. And then it's a Western at the same time. It's kind of a mixture of a bunch of shit. Anyway.
But one of the biggest plot twists of the century is even J.K. Rowling admitting that Harry Potter was even inspired by Christianity and her upbringing reading the Bible. Not the plot twist that all the homeschool Christian soccer moms that banned Harry Potter from their house were expecting.
Oh, man. Good. I'm glad that you digged on them. That was me. That was my... We weren't allowed to watch Harry Potter. You know why? Or I guess it was read it at that time. It was before the movies. You know why? Because they said that there were real spells in those movies. They're like, no, I know the movie's fantasy, but the spells that the witches and wizards say, those are real spells. Fucking what? What do you mean real spell? Like what the hell? No, they're not. Like they're not real according to what? Well, according to some pagan people or the way to believe stuff that they don't believe. But whatever. It's like acting like witchcraft is real, basically. And they're like, no, there's actual witches that are out there just casting spells all the time. And Harry Potter borrowed some of those real spells from those real witches who are really casting spells on us Christians just at any moment. That's anything bad happens in your life. That's a fucking witch that's just casting spells at you,
So it seems like a lot, if not most, of our popular stories reflect the story of Jesus in some way, shape, or form, whether it's the author gleaming on their faith or their appreciation for.
That was a great scene. That was probably my favorite scene of that entire movie. It's like, it's like a sitcom moment, He's like, we're all fine here. How are you? So it's good. And then he's like, look, we're gonna have company. It's so good. That was like the best part. That was like where I really get pumped in that movie, I gotta say. That's
the Bible or overt parallels. Okay. And this trend has brought us to this moment with Neil Degrasse Tyson gleefully explaining the symbolic parallels from one of the most.
Look, he gleefully explains everything. So don't try to make it like it's just specific to this. He's just a gleeful guy. Okay, that's just how he is. Have you seen him do the Star Talk shows? He's insane. He's great. I love it.
Popular movies of recent times, The Matrix, and its connection to Jesus and the gospel story. But before we get into that, guys, my name is Ruslan. This channel exists to encourage, empower, and inspire you to live a life that blesses God. If you're new here, or if you're not new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button.
Thing is so loud. I know I say it every time. Shit hurts my head. It's like my brain is like messed up now. Okay.
There's a huge percentage of the people that watch this channel, unfortunately, are not subscribed. Okay, so at the beginning of 2025, Neil Degrasse Tyson sat down with Lawrence Fishburne, the actor who plays more.
Yeah, I was not allowed to read Harry Potter. First of all, I didn't do much reading anyway, other than I guess the Bible. That was it. But no, we didn't. Definitely weren't allowed to read. Like we were just in that whole time period where it was like that's evil. I even think if I'm not mistaken, I remember we had like one of those like Jesus record and book burnings. Those wonderful things. And it had a lot to do with Harry Potter. And it was one of those times where people were like, and we even heard, because they were throwing out toys and stuff too. You always got to remember, they were throwing out toys. And we even heard the demons screaming as they were on fire. We could hear the demons. It's like, did you put plastic? Plastic makes noises, man, when you fucking put it. God, they're stupid. It's whatever. It's so stupid.
In the Matrix. And they talked about all of the parallels between the Matrix and the gospel story. Now, what makes this interesting is Neil Degrasse Tyson's pretty overt atheism, agnosticism, if you will, and his gleeful excitement to
they would say like agnostic, atheist, or whatever, but like in the sense of like knowledge, you would say he's an agnostic, but so is everybody, so it kind of doesn't matter. But like, yeah, he's an atheist in the sense that he doesn't hold a belief in a particular God of any kind, but he leaves that kind of like that open to be figured out. That's kind of what it is. Like, we don't know. I don't know. I don't say I know stuff I don't know, and that's it. That's all it is. Like, I don't say I know stuff that I don't know. Maybe something's out there that could possibly be defined as a God by somebody, right? But all the ones that people like believe in, like currently, and have all those characteristics of like each of their god, like whether it's Vishnu, that being Vishnu specifically does not exist. Okay. Jesus as this magical character that lives in the sky, that does not exist. Each individual one is not real, right? But it has to be those things. You can't just say that something that somebody could eventually at some point define as a god, right? And which is just like, oh, maybe it was intentionally designed or something like that. And they go, oh, that was it. That was our God the whole time. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You can't just say that it was your God all the time, man. Like your God was a specific thing over here. Just because we ended up finding something that designed it, I don't think we're ever going to find that. But I'm just saying, if we did, they would all jump to it and go, oh, look, that was mine. That was what I was saying the whole time. No, the fuck it wasn't, So it's like, it's just frustrating the way that we have to have this stupid conversation because of that exactly. Anyway, but like my point is, he leaves it open to where, okay, it could be intentionally designed, possibly if we found evidence for that. But so far, no dice, man. There's no intelligence that anything that we can find that cost anything. Everything seems to be pretty undesigned. Like, for fuck's sake, just because it looks to us like it was something. It's too cool. It's too cool and too neato to be what the fuck. Anyway, can we cut that? Yeah, let's cut that. I don't say neato. That sounds like something. That was my dad coming out. Elvis. I don't know where that. Yeah, take that. Yeah, let's get that out of there. Okay. Anyway,
point out all the parallels from the Matrix to the story of Jesus. Check this out.
In the Matrix. So first, Neo, that's an anagram of
The one.
the one. You had to dip your head at the one.
The one.
You can't non-act that
No.
expression.
No.
The one.
The one.
see what I mean about the gleefully? He's just gleefully about everything. He's gleefully explaining the Matrix right now.
That's the one.
Right.
All right. He's the savior.
Right.
All right. So now watch. There.
Christ.
Yeah. Okay. So now
Buddha.
watch. Early in the
Or
film.
the Buddha. See, he went to the Buddha too, because isn't Buddha the one as well? I don't know.
He wakes up from.
The all-inclusiveness
Oh, he gets
Lawrence
mad.
Fishburne to be like Christ, Buddha. Those are not even relatively the same or similar.
Oh, it's like, don't even try to put that Buddha guy in there. Okay, that guy was somebody else from a completely different continent. He is not my thing. Stop trying to make it like all. Shut up. Shut up.
And not in the historical context. Buddha was not a Christ-like figure.
Yeah.
That's not what that was about. So this idea.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the legend of Buddha. I know his. I like. Let me say. I like his philosophy. I would say a lot better than any other Christian. Than any Christian philosophy out there. It's a lot of time. The irony is that I am actually having to like adopt Buddhist practices to heal from the brainwashing of the Christian shit. So it's kind of ironic how that works. I had to, although I don't obviously believe in all the silly chakra stuff and all that type of stuff, but I do like the practices, and it's helpful as far as like, just centering yourself and stuff like that. It is helpful. You just gotta kind of just roll your eyes past the energy stuff, but whatever. In the guided, anyway, it's the whole thing, but it's fine.
Yeah, that they're similar and it's just like this need to like be all inclusive. Like Neo, the one, it's much more.
Was there a prophecy? Ember said Christ was pretty Buddha-like in reality. Yeah, it was. Was there a prophecy of that where people are like, oh, Buddha is the one that was prophesied by the golden plates? That's Mormonism. Anyway, I don't. Was there any kind of thing like that? I don't know if there was like anything like that in there. Hey, Kilograms, what's up, dude? How we doing? Then hit like everyone. Oh, please. Yeah. God, what? Okay. Yeah. I wish I could not forget that. But yeah. If you want to hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. It is very helpful for all of these. And I know I do them every day, but if you still just want to show up and hit the like and then leave, that's fine too. I'll take it, But yeah, what were we talking about? Oh yeah. Was there whether or not there was a prophecy for Buddha? I don't know. If anybody's familiar with that, let me know.
Closer to the biblical parallel than it is anything that Buddha did.
And there's someone knocking at the door.
What? Tell me what you think Buddha did. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. They literally say it in the movie. It's like, this is why, like, oh man, it's a secret subplot. Like, no, it's not. It's fucking explicit as all goddamn get out. Like, how did I mean, maybe it's just that my pastor used this movie constantly when I was growing up. He which was kind of weird, seeing as that it was like a rated R movie that my pastor apparently it was only rated R, and this was interesting. It was only rated R because of that scene where they go into the bank and they're wearing like black trench coats and and skin tight leather and stuff, and dark glass and all that. And it happened right at the time of probably the most notable first school mass schmooting, you know what I mean? I don't know if I can say that, but yeah, the very first one, they called themselves the trench coat mafia or some shit, and so because that happened in that movie, there was no language, there wasn't like a bunch of F words, there was no nudity, there was no anything that would make this movie rated R. But because it came out around the same time that situation happened, that awful tragedy happened, it made the movie rated R, as far as I understand. Maybe if anybody knows better than me about that, but I feel like I remember that because I remember going to see the movie when I was a Christian, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm watching a rated R movie. This is insane." And then watching the movie and being like, are all rated R movies? Why is this rated R? This is what makes them. This is what rated R movies are like, because this feels like it's exactly the same as like Jurassic Park or something. I mean, they said shit a couple times, and there's a little bit of violence, but that's it. That's nothing. Why is this rated R? But yeah, I think that was it.
You're 2 hours late.
And apparently he packed something for them,
Right.
and is about to give them. And so he says, "Wait a minute." He goes back, rummages through a thing,
Right.
gives him a disc,
Thing, right.
and the guy says,
Hallelujah. You're my savior, man. My own personal Jesus Christ.
"You're my savior."
Very on the fucking nose. Okay, there's not, if they were trying to keep it subtle, they failed. I don't know, but
"You're my regular
Yeah.
Jesus Christ."
Yeah, you're my
That's-
own personal Jesus Christ.
That's a script line.
That's right there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
Right there. Okay. But
I just love how
right there. Where is it? Right there. That's where. That's
excited he is.
He's very excited.
Right there.
he's excited about everything, man. He's happy to be alive. Okay, man.
It's right there. He's like,
I love it.
You can't get away from it.
let's not stop there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we keep going. There's the part where he gets brought into the Nebuchadnezzar
Mm-hmm.
for the first time. So
Mhm.
he's still wrapped and looking around. And there's
And it's called the Nebuchadnezzar for some reason. I'm not really sure why that is, but they just would throw random biblical names on shit. But
Joey Pants.
Yeah,
Joey Pants.
Yeah.
Pantaleon.
By the way, Nebuchadnezzar.
Yoda over here, God, just bringing it out. Then so I don't. The Matrix was not. Yeah. No, and I agree. I agree with you, Yoda. That was dead on, straight up.
That's also a callback to Daniel,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, see?
Nebuchadnezzar. So
I haven't seen the movie, so
you haven't.
What the fuck? What? This kid? Wow, dude. What? Dude, why do you have this kid? He's never done or seen or thought anything. Dude, why do you bring this guy on there? I don't understand. He's just anyway, but
Oh gosh, clip that out, please. This is embarrassing. Please clip that out.
you should keep that in.
oh, he did my little cut it bit, and that's great. He's like, "Can we cut that?" But he's being serious though. And he's like, "I kept that in because fuck him. My little buddy here's an idiot, and I gotta let everybody know that."
I am so disappointed.
I'm so disappointed.
With Pantaleon. And he's there. And
It is rated R, Ruslan. Okay, it's rated R. He's not allowed to watch rated R movies. I've literally heard him say that. He's like, well, and if you think it's okay to just be watching rated R movies and saying B words and stuff, sometimes it's jokes and everything, and then you're not really living the way Christ really wanted you to live.
he's just looking, and then that character, Cypher,
Mhm.
is startled.
Al, what's up, dude?
Neil, you scared the bejesus out of me.
"Oh, you scared the bejesus out of me."
Okay, them finishing each other's words.
Well, Lawrence, I think, knows the lines pretty good. I don't know why. There's some reason why he might know that movie pretty well.
Brothers a little bit.
They're like brothers. They are brothers, but not, they're like brothers.
They're brothers, but they're not
They're
brothers.
Yeah, that's two.
Okay, so hang on.
That's two. Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
John said, Buddhism has many Christ-like figures as I can't say that word, that are meant as guides towards escape from the wheel of samsara. That all sounds awesome. I don't. And of course, my other account's messing up. All right, let me pull it down from over here. Yeah, I don't understand any of that, but that sounds cool. I don't know what that means, but okay, interesting. What is he? Deep State said. It's been a good long time since the last time I learned about Buddhism, and that was in high school in a class that talked about world religions. Wow, that's cool. That's awesome that you had that you had that class at school. That would be banned here in the U.S. I'm pretty sure that would no. You can't talking about other religions and talking about all religions as if they're just religion. No, shut it down. Shut it down. It's woke. It's too woke for public schools. Get it out of here. Jesus Christ.
Who betrays the group?
Cypher.
Cypher.
Yes.
He betrays.
He's the Judas.
Who? He's Judas.
He's Judas. Yeah.
He's Judas.
Yeah.
After the bejesus was scared out.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't have Jesus in
He
him.
doesn't have Jesus. in
Oh
him.
Okay.
God. Okay. Now I didn't go that far. It's like what? Okay. You're kind of stretching it now. I don't know if that was what. That's what was that. Do you think that was really intended, or is he just is he doing the apophenia thing that Christians do all the time? A bit more creatively, I'd argue, but
All right.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's
I love it. I love that he caught all of this. The minutia of all these lines, I think, is really interesting. I haven't seen The Matrix in quite a few years, but
embarrassing.
what? Really? Watch that shit all the time. Oh, now he's cutting out that I guess it's uncool to not watch the Matrix every year. Is that what it is? It's like you either watch it every year or you're a loser. I actually do pretty much watch that movie once a year. I have certain movies that I just rewatch over and over again. Jaws, that's a great movie. Any of the Indiana Jones 1 through 3. Die Hard.
Darn it. The macro story is such a clear parallel to the gospel in terms of Neo being
Chappie,
the savior, and then the girl is Trinity, and Neo's willingness to die and then come back to life. Like there's so many things in it.
His willingness.
It's funny that
you hear him. It's like, oh my gosh, what? It's like, wait a second, he dies and comes back to life. Kind of ruining the ending there, Rusi, for the guy that hasn't seen the movie. But whatever, fucking spoilers. Holy shit.
he's like in the minutia of the lines.
He really likes the word minutia. I keep thinking he's going to say manure, but it's that I think that's a Florida thing. I hear that word more than minutia.
Yeah. Because you're saying the macro story is already there.
It's clear as day.
But like the he scared the bejesus out of him. He's had Jesus in him, and then he goes and betrays Jesus. Yeah. That's funny.
And so my question is,
yeah, it is kind of funny because that one's kind of silly. I'm sorry. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Neil deGrasse Tyson is wrong about that. Just that one part.
When's the last time he saw this to remember all these lines word for word?
Yeah, that's crazy.
The Occupy Till I Come 60 days.
And if you want to be occupied while you come, go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. You can be very, very occupied right up until you come, and then you kind of want to take a break. You want to take a minute. It's kind of oversensitive in that area and everything. You don't want to anyway. But go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley. That's BRENTLY at checkout, and and get your exclusive offer today. Get your butt some stuff. Okay. He always does that, the occupy till I come thing, and it just works. I like it.
Devotional is back in stock. This is taking you through the.
Like it's on page 1. Look at it.
Remember all these.
I know. It's so funny to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
These commercials are like
the Occupy
stock
Till
footage.
I Come 60 days.
Some stock footage of me looking at the first page. It's like, oh, look at that. The book that I'm selling. Oh, I'm looking at it right now. How did that look real? Did I look like I was actually interested in my own book there? Well, we can do it again. Okay. Oh, I looked weird. Okay. Well. Oh, I always look. Oh, fuck you, man. Okay, did it look good or not? Okay, what is your problem?
Taking you through the entire narrative of the scriptures in 60 days with custom daily devotional prompts. So what you're doing is you're spending 35 days in the Old Testament, 25 days in the New Testament. Ticket to our blessings on feet of Jesus. Bless God for artwork. Okay,
I do. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm sorry. I was right about to get mad. I was right about to do the bulldog thing from Frasier. What the stinks? Oh, there it is. Okay, my bad. There we got it.
I don't know.
You might. Let's go.
A couple of you got that joke. You know, like both of you, right? That's the Frasier, am I right?
Here's the difference. It's my favorite movie, and you've made 100 movies.
Right.
So
Okay.
All right. Everyone sort of decides that.
What the fuck? Hold on. I feel like I missed something. Yep, I definitely missed something. What's that? What's happening? He broke out into song. I don't know what happened. Neil broke out into song. He's singing, and I will survive. Whatever. or the one from The Bodyguard. Fuck, I can't think of it. Anyway,
I don't know.
You might. Let's go.
Here's the difference. It's my favorite movie, and you've made 100 movies.
Right.
So.
Okay.
All right. Everyone sort of decides that.
Oh, he said it's my favorite movie, and you've made 100 movies, and then that's fucking.
He's the one.
Right. When he's like pulling Trinity up.
Oh yes, yeah.
With the helicopter.
He is the one.
I told you he is the one.
He is the one.
Do you believe it now, Trinity?
Because nobody believed it.
I don't know what it means to compliment you on exactly imitating what you need to do in a movie.
You do a really good impression of. Well, you. Yeah, no, it's not exactly an impression. Anyway, so did.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson said that was good. Like he was doing an impression. Like it's the character.
He is the guy that played the guy.
Yeah, he did. He just did the person.
Let's fast forward towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
He gets shot point blank.
Right.
By Smith. Then he drops. He keeps firing into him.
Yes.
Okay. Just all right. Do you know how many bullets he put in him?
I don't.
You don't.
Okay.
Do the bullets you see?
Mm-hmm.
It's like 4 bullets point blank to the.
I don't know if it's working. Oh no, it's working. Okay. Music. What's up? It's definitely a Jesus, Judas theme in the Matrix. Yeah, definitely. That again, not subtle. This is pretty easy stuff. There's also, and I feel like they skipped right over it. Wasn't there the prophet? There was the prophet lady that's like, you're not the one. I guess maybe that doesn't go in line with it, but like, but she told him what he needed to hear because he already believed he wasn't anyway, and he needed to be convinced. So he had to anyway. There's a whole, coming of age, not coming of age. That's not the right character development. There we go. So a thing like that, Pat, what's up, Pat? He said, I gotta tell you, bro. What's up, bro? When I listen to the word salad, these apologists try to use that requires mental jujitsu to answer. It's wild because Christians, in my opinion, lack reason and logic. I agree. Yeah, they that's not the first thing I think they think of. It's more about like, well, I don't know, what am I supposed to think? What are the answers I'm supposed to give to this stuff? Logic and reason means that you're coming to these conclusions on your own. And that's sort of the thing. And that's what's so, like, for a lot of us that are apostates, that's what was so hard to relearn, right? Is that you got to go from top down what you think. And it's like, well, I don't know. I was told by somebody who was told by somebody who was told by somebody who was told by somebody that's, from the distant past, what we're supposed to do. Right. And that's how we figured it out. And then logic and reason is more about like, well, I have to figure out what I'm supposed to do based on what I think I should be supposed to do, which is a total, it's kind of like a from the ground up decision making thing. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but it's, and it was very difficult to kind of switch from this top down to this bottom up way of making decisions. But yeah, and I agree with you. Yeah.
The chest.
Okay.
We go back to the Nebuchadnezzar, and you see his body responding.
Yes. Right.
Okay. But what if you track the rate that bullets are being fired?
Yeah.
And continue them into that scene?
Now we're gonna get to
then we come out of the scene, and there's a few more bullets that you observe.
Right.
That's 14 bullets.
Okay.
There are 14 stations of the cross.
I didn't know that.
Church.
What?
I didn't know that.
No, for non-Catholics out there.
What the fuck? What are stations of the cross? The cross has stations. What? So you can easily get from one to the other on a high speed rail of some sort?
In every church, Catholic church.
Is that true? Yeah. 14 stations of the cross. Catholics, help me out in the chat.
He's like, I'm not you guys. Like the weird, the Satanist people, the Satanist Christians, they're not actually Christian. They worship Satan because they worship a woman, and that's satanic. So they're Satanists, but they're sort of Christian-ish. But so tell me what y'all wrong people think about this.
He's more excited about this than I am. Yeah. This is amazing.
And typically in the pillars that surround the main open area
Yeah.
from the side areas.
Hey,
mounted
you
facing
found
inward
it.
are-
What's up, man? Yeah, no, John found it. I have like 2 followers there, dude. I just started. Well, not just. I don't know. Past couple of months, I put it on Twitch, but I don't. I guess I don't know if I'm not advertising right. Do they have an algorithm that puts out content on Twitch? I don't know how it works. Okay. But yeah, so nobody knows about it, but it is in my description and shit. I just assume nobody watches stuff there. But thank you for watching from there, because that's you will now be one of the 4 people that I get emailed after every stream about. It's like 4 people are watching you. I'm like, that's awesome, great. No, that's kind of cool. I'm glad.
are 14 drawings, paintings, relief maps of the 14. They're called stages of the cross.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're key moments in
the life.
Jesus's life. And it's an early movie, really.
Oh,
the word movie doesn't even exist.
Exactly.
Right. But a sequence.
It's visual.
It's a visual sequence.
Grand Theft Auto, what's up? It's been a long while since I've seen The Matrix. Yeah, really? Okay. Well, I don't know what everybody's problem. I watch it all the time. I don't know. Not the second 2, just the first 1 or 3, I guess now. Although the third, that 4th one wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it. Wasn't bad. It was fun. Yes, the Oracle. Thank you. Yeah, it's like the Prophet, right? It was like they were doing a Prophet. Anyway, yeah. Amber said, if you want to learn about other religions, here you have to go visit their temples or go to seminary. Yeah, exactly. And I would even say it depends on the seminary, right? Because if you go to PragerU's seminary, you get a very different. It's not very inclusive. They don't have a whole lot of diversity or equity in there either.
Okay. And it's all of it, and it's he's tried under Pontius Pilate.
I think he's reaching.
He carries the cross. He's put up on the cross.
Oh, now he's
dies
reaching.
on the cross, okay?
It's funny how they'll do this. Like, oh, now he's reaching for this one, but it's like he'll reach for all sorts of stupid shit. But it's in all fairness, he is reaching here. I don't. What the fuck is he even talking? Now we're getting into like numerology shit, and it's like he should know. I would think better than anybody. As soon as we start involving numbers, you can find patterns like a motherfucker. Like that's just how our brains work, dude.
Got it.
So it's all you can look it up on any.
Okay. 14 stages of the cross.
Yes.
14 bullets.
Okay, Catholics. I see you. I see y'all. That kind of slaps. I'm not gonna lie.
The 4th kind of slaps. What slaps? The painting here? They're like, there is like 14 different little mini paintings here. They slap hard, bro. They slap hard. Isn't that like a sexual reference? I don't know why I always think that. Dude, that slaps, dude. I always say like that's like a reference to having sex while you listen to the song, right? And you can do it to the music with that kind of like. That's why it slaps. Right, because it's slapping genitals. Go ahead, picture it. Okay, now you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'll stop now. I'm sorry.
14 stages of the cross. Okay, I like it. All right, Neil deGrasse Tyson educating us lay folks.
And he dies.
Right.
Then he's resurrected.
Right
it
there.
comes back more powerful than ever before.
That's right.
That's right. And
is that not Jesus?
And he can fly now, which kind of made the second movie weird. I don't know. That was kind of just like, oh. And he's gonna fight. Oh yeah, but he can fly too. I don't know why I hadn't been doing this the whole time. Whatever.
Jesus all time.
Joining the side of God.
That's Jesus all day.
All day.
Yeah.
All day, all night.
So who's Trinity?
Slapping ding dong. That's right. There you go. Thank you. That's that. You you phrased it much more colorfully. I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. That's been slapping, right? I'm not wrong about this. Okay.
We got it. Like
in the Catholic.
That would have to be Mary Magdalene.
Okay.
Okay.
Mary Magdalene,
right there.
And who's more?
How we doing, Dave? Doing all right? Hell yeah.
This is cool.
In the Christ mythology.
I know. I'm trying to.
He's the Baptist.
John the Baptist?
He's John the Baptist.
Come on. That's crazy.
Because John the Baptist knows Jesus is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So John has some info here. He said, the Stations of the Cross are the individual scenes traditionally depicted by Catholic rites. There are Stations of the Cross all over North America. They're kind of like big diagrams, sometimes sculptures. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I am very, very unfamiliar with that. I was not, like I said, in my household, Catholics, Satanists, they worshipped idols and stuff. They were basically pagans to my family. But yeah, but that was just because, they were crazy. So I don't, whatever.
The honor is mine.
He knows who he
And
is.
sets everything up.
And he's been looking for him.
Yeah, he's been looking for him.
And when he meets him, he goes, I'm supposed to be baptized by you.
Yeah, that's fire.
So that's who Morpheus is in the Christ mythology.
In the Christ.
So I like that.
Oh, Morpheus was John the Baptist. Damn. Okay. Now that one I didn't put in. I didn't realize. And he said, hold on. I feel like I was talking over that.
He's been looking for him.
Yeah, he's been looking for him.
And when he meets him, he goes, I'm supposed to be baptized by you.
Yeah, that's fire.
So that's who Morpheus is in the Christ mythology.
In the Christ.
So I like that Neil's was like cooking, and then Lawrence then starts dropping.
Oh, and that was what his baptism was like, pulling him out of the Matrix. Is that what it was supposed to be? Like that was him being baptized?
Gems on him
Yeah.
about who his character is, showing that like, yeah, I'm
Hey.
tracking with you. I know exactly.
What's up, Lord Dissident? How we doing, man? I didn't see you there. My bad. And, Jesus never stopped the bullets, though, which makes Neo the winner in the death battle. That is true, right? I feel like he's probably got some moves too, since he can have moves uploaded to his brain via helicopter computer or whatever. But yeah, so I think he's got him beat on multiple levels there. But
where this is now. Again, this is why I think that whole little Buddha thing was just so crazy at the beginning.
okay, don't say Buddha like that. Come on, man. You believe in an undead carpenter ghost that lives inside of you that you pretend to cannibalize. Come on, get the fuck out of here.
It's like this unneed to be all inclusive,
Yeah.
when your character is based on John the Baptist in this mythology.
Yeah, there's no Buddha mythology for the Matrix.
Right. I find it interesting that atheists can't get away from the story of Jesus.
What do you mean? We can't get away? Is that something we're trying to do? Is that like we can't enjoy Superman or the Matrix because it's just too much like that damn Jesus guy. Like what the fuck? I don't give a fuck. Of course, like it's the most popular religion on the planet. Of course it's gonna have like their fucking allegories like written through modern media and shit. Okay. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's fucking weird that they're like, no, they can't even escape from it. Aren't you like the guy that like believes that you're on the narrow road and the world is the world and the world's going to hell, and so the world's like all bad, and so all the movies should be of the world and all this other shit, right? And you're on the narrow road that is unlike the world, yet you're being like, our narratives are just written throughout like all of Hollywood movies, which I thought was supposed to be super evil. And anyway, I don't understand what his point, what kind of stopped him before he's gotten to his point. Anyway, hold on. Amber said something. Draw him out of the waters. I got nothing. I don't know. What is that? What? I don't know. I don't know what you're referring. Is that a line? Is that a line from Jaws? Now, how would they draw the shark out of the water? That doesn't make any sense. The shark would have to stay in. No, it couldn't have been a Jaws. Is that a different one? Oh, is it really from? I don't come. Kung Fu. Oh, that was from the porn that was based on the Matrix. Let's see. John said the problem is that stories don't have as much variation as we suppose. And the Jesus story just follows the same story we've been telling ourselves for thousands of years. Well, I mean, and that's a great point because like, isn't the whole, because like Jesus wasn't the only like chosen one cult leader thing from that fucking time. Like, and then there was chosen one shit before that and chosen one shit before that. It was just sort of like, I don't know. It's just sort of like this in the zeitgeist, I guess, of like humanity, of this like being the chosen one. And you're right, we've literally kept that like structure like in story form going for a long time. And that's the thing too, like because again, like all of this goes back to like we're creatures of story. Like we love telling stories. Like that's how we learn. Well, that's how we feel things more if it's put into a story. Like that's just how we think. We think in story form. So it would make sense that like, back in the day, there was a very popular story that just happened to be, there was a chosen one and we're waiting for him or whatever. Yeah. And there was he's the God that's going to save us or whatever, the savior. A lot of people I can imagine people wanted to believe that somebody was coming to save them from whatever it was. Doesn't matter. At some point in the past, whatever they're going through, we need a savior to come and help us. Like that makes perfect. Now we got superheroes, right? And they're the saviors that come and help people. Like it just makes good sense that this would have been just a narrative that's stuck through human culture throughout, right? Anyway, forgot what we were doing. What are we doing? I was doing anyway. Oh no, we're good. Okay.
I find it interesting that Richard Dawkins dismisses the truth claims of Christianity, yet admires its cathedrals and Christmas carols. I find it interesting that they can see the practical utility that Christianity has added to the world, but yet still wrestle with acknowledging that maybe, just maybe,
what practical utility? They always want to say that, and then you're like, what was the practical utility that like Christianity brought that wasn't just like a human thing? Right, because a lot of times they're like family, and it's like, okay, we have like that's not just a Christian thing, first of all, you know. But what, like what? Well, tell me the teaching of Jesus that led to our society functioning better. That wasn't something he just took from some earlier thing, like something Buddha said, right? Which is like the golden rule. Like Buddha had said the fucking golden rule, and I think he even had a better version of it. But anyway, Brian, what's up, dude? Is that Christians will do almost anything to convince an unbeliever to profess the faith. Once an unbeliever processes the faith, they then try to convince the new believer that they didn't really believe. Okay, once an unbeliever processes the faith, they then try to convince the new believer that they didn't really believe. I'm not really sure I'm following. Like Christians will do anything to try to convince people to believe. I've got you there. But when the unbeliever processes the faith, I don't know what that means. You mean just like reading about it and then it's like, yeah, that's not true. But then they, I see what you're saying. I think I see what you're saying. Then they're going to go, oh, well, you never really did it. Is that what you're saying? Like they, like once the person like processes faith and see like, oh, this doesn't make sense, or they tried it and then it's not good. It doesn't work, whatever. It just isn't convincing to them. Then they're like, oh, you never really were a Christian. Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. I could be reading it incorrectly. But, you know, Chris, what's up, dude? Said, always the assumption that science is a religion and is assumed that scientists presume all the answers, which is never true or factual. Now, I know it's funny. It's just because, you know, when it comes to atheists, a lot of times we'll like be like, no, this scientific fact like refutes this thing about your religion or whatever. It's like, so science has all the fucking answers, does it? Huh? Yeah, that's right. And we're like, no, it just has this one here that kind of refutes your thing. Because you know, I don't know if you know this. See, when you are on top of water, you sink. You can't actually walk on. There's a study here of people trying to walk on water. They can't do it. They couldn't do it because you know that's not a possible thing that people can do. So it's they're like, oh, so science just has all the fucking answers, huh? Oh yeah, well, what if they're God? Okay, then I don't even know why. I don't know. I guess you're right. No, they could just do anything then, right? They could be a fucking squared circle for all I know if they're a God.
If the story resonates so deeply to you, so deeply to your personhood, where you can recite all this, that there perhaps is some truth to it, that the story that we see in the gospel narrative and the resurrection is so connected and intrinsic to us that perhaps it's true. Now,
Dude, what a weird argument. So he's saying because there's so many Christians that happen to put like their version of their belief or whatever into like movies and stuff, that means there must be some truth to it. Because otherwise, why would it all be there like that? Is that really what we're doing? Because there's a bunch of Christians writing shit. What do you want? I don't. What do you mean? How does that prove the truthfulness? Logan, what's up, dude? When did you get your comment up there? What's up, man? The Jesus lizard can't. The Jesus lizard can walk on water. Oh, I was like, oh, that's a good job. I don't get it. I don't get the. But you know, there's actually a lizard called is it called the Jesus lizard? I thought it was called like the Messiah lizard or something. You're probably right. I don't know. But yeah, it looks hilarious too. Just saying, you know, if you ever slowed that sucker down and watched him run, he's just, he looks like he's freaking out. Yeah, it's like it looks like the lizard can't believe that he's able to do this the entire time he's doing it. I can't fucking believe what's happening. Oh my God. what the fuck is going? This is sad. That's what, I just picture Bill Burr's voice. Oh my fucking God! What the fuck? How am I even doing this? This is fucking crazy.
I obviously think this is it, because Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 says he has made everything beautiful in its time. He has set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. So this idea that eternity is set in the human heart, that we desire something beyond just this life, that there is something that is inside of us intrinsically connected to something bigger.
Yeah, it's called wishful fucking thinking, dude. Yeah, of course. Of course. This is such a silly thing. Like, hey, man, why else would we want to live forever? It's like, I don't know, because that's something that this is wishful thinking, because we don't want to die. we have a hard time with the concept of just not existing. So, and that tends to be, honestly, kind of helpful for evolution's sake, right? The creature, the creatures that are actually want to keep existing versus the ones that don't want to keep existing, they tend to do better in the whole survival of the fittest thing, right? So maybe it has something to do with that, or it's just a fear of death thing, and also just wanting to be with your loved ones after they pass. And so it's wishful fucking thinking, man. It's not like this crazy spiritual thing that they put in your heart. Like, why is it that you'd like to not die at some point? It's like, because of all the reasons I just said.
Than us, right? That this life isn't just it, that there's something
yeah,
beyond this material world. Another scripture that comes to mind is in Romans chapter 2 verse 14. This is where some of us would get the common grace theology we see in Protestant circles, or if you're Catholic, you'll see St. Aquinas talk about the natural law, right? So check this out.
That was Aquinas.
Romans chapter 2 verse 14 says, even Gentiles who do not have God's written law show that they know his law when they instinctively obey it, even without having heard it.
So they instinctively don't have sex before marriage? I don't think people instinctively do that. I think it's just the opposite. I think this verse just says that people instinctively do stuff because, this is the book that's trying to convince you that the religion is true. So, of course, it's going to say everybody else actually doesn't believe this thing. They don't even know it. Like, of course it fucking says that. Jesus. That's funny. Oh, thank you, Giselle. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah. What there was a comment. Oh, Johnson. So check out the Ascension of Isaiah, where Isaiah has a vision of Jesus's birth, life, crucifixion, and resurrection, dated before Mark 70 AD. I'm going to have to talk to Justin about that. Why? I don't know why I feel, I guess Justin wouldn't probably know about that. But that seems odd. Oh, you're saying like they based it off of it? And so they just had the story already set kind of before they even started writing Mark. But as if you're saying it's like some kind of prophecy, I doubt it. But if you're saying it's just a story that they adopted to make, that would make sense. But let's see, it's it's called wishful thinking. Thank you. Yeah, I fucking died when you said that. Perfect time. Exactly, right? That's all it is. That's all it is. Oh, there's Aquinas and an Aquinas. They need to start making names different. That's way too simple. That's like Brent and Brett. Why did they do that? Why did that? If there's a Brett anywhere in my vicinity, I'm saying what? Twice as often as I need to be. Okay. Because they're not talking to me. They're talking to Brett. Why would you add an N into the name? Fuck it. Never mind. This is so stupid. Like, I swear it's like some parents were like, oh no, I want to name them Brett. And they're like, but I wanted an N in their name for Nancy, my aunt. That's very okay, fine. We'll meet in the middle. Like, that's the only thing I can think would be the reason why Brent and Brett exist. So, anyway, it's a side tangent. But it irritates me though. It's so funny. Anyway, Logan said, Aquinas, let's call the whole thing. Oh, okay. No, I didn't even read I just assumed, I was like, oh, there must be more than one. Okay, my bad. Never mind. Just let's call the whole thing. Tomato. I got it. I got the joke. I know that song. Jesus.
So that there's Gentiles out there who do not have God's written law. They don't have the scriptures, yet they instinctively obey it, meaning that in their hearts they have had it revealed, even though they haven't had the actual scriptures, right?
Yeah, no, we got it. It's really not hard to follow. man. I love it when they try to explain this. They sound like John Madden explaining football. Like, once you get over the line into the end zone, well, and you got the ball, well, that'd be a touchdown. Like, yeah, no, we get that, dude. Like, right. Fucking man, come on.
And then in verse 14 it says they demonstrate that God's law is written in their hearts, for their conscience and thoughts either accuse them or tell them they are doing right. And this is the message I proclaim, that the day is coming when God, through Christ Jesus, will judge everyone's secret life. Earlier in this video,
everyone's secret life. Oh, you know what that means. You're masturbating. He's going to judge you for that.
Neil Degrasse Tyson made the point that the more he looks out into the universe, the more he doesn't believe that there's a creator and a desire. And I would say that I actually understand what he's saying by the more he looks out into the universe. That
was it. Saint Aquaman buys up all the West Coast real estate. Yeah, that bastard. Oh, Saint Aquaman. I thought I said Saint Aquaman because we were kind of on this Aquinas, and now Aquaman thing, but it's Aquaman. Never mind. Anyway. That's probably, I feel like that's a reference to something in the news that I'm unaware of. Let's see. Ryan, what's up, dude? How you doing? Oh yeah, I feel like I saw somebody else too. Oh, Ace, what's up, Ace? How you doing, dude? Mikey, so gross. Is that what? Oh, he responded. They extensively make the woman prove their virginity by a bloodshed. Yeah. Oh, I've heard him do that one. Justin at the deconversion or deconstruction zone does that one a lot, which is fucking. I had no idea of that whole thing. I was just sitting there watching him describe it, and like, yeah, that was a really interesting way to break it down there. Oh, and that's where we're at. Saint Aquaman. Got it. Okay, I'm following now. I got a little bit behind. Okay, I have to watch the videos while y'all are talking and stuff, so I got to bounce back and forth. And I got ADHD, so it's like I get kind of over caught up in whatever.
We in our modern day paradigm see life through our Western lens, and we think that life is ordered. We think that there is structure. We think that there are things like human rights and freedom. But the reality is that when you look out into the universe, or you look out into this world, that most of the world...
saying that the reality is we don't have any rights, actually. Okay, that's no. There's none of that, actually. And governments shouldn't even give it to us, really. It's just...
world is chaos. Most of the world is crazy and insane. That the natural state of the world is not peace. The natural state of the world is not goodness. It's actually the opposite. And Jordan Peterson recently gave a...
I mean, when you have a level of desperation, but I mean, doesn't necessarily have to be the case, man. Like, we can have things work out well for societies, and we've seen that. And the more we've moved towards, the having more resources and divvying them out more fairly and stuff like that, the better we are. The problem is when we have so many fucking resources piled up in one spot owned by one person while everybody else is fighting over crumbs. Yeah, that turns to fucking chaos pretty quickly. And that's just born of desperation. Apart from, of course, like, there is mental illness and stuff like that, which, causes, serial killers and shit like that. But that's kind of like a small subset. And, I feel like if we have a pretty good, well-functioning society, we can handle those dudes, when they start doing this shit, or at least, get them after them, try to, look out for that. So I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm kind of lost on a tangent.
Talk on this on his YouTube channel, where he talks about our societies don't naturally fall into democratic societies where people get to vote and have freedom of expression and all these things. No. They actually fall into the opposite.
It's so stupid. It doesn't naturally work that way. Why not? Oh, that's right. Because of like power thirsty psychos that want everything just for themselves and think they know better than everybody else. And for some reason, we let them do shit. Anyway, I'm kind of off on a thing here.
So they fall into totalitarianism. They fall into things that go into a very dark direction. And so we look at all this stuff through our present lens, and we take so much of it for granted. But this would be my challenge to someone like Neil deGrasse Tyson: is you're looking at...
The crazy thing is he's like one of the people that are literally supporting the problems that he's talking about here. He's like supporting the conservative party that is literally just tearing down all of our institutions that do any kind of protection for any kinds of people that aren't already super wealthy.
out into the universe or looking out into the world and seeing suffering and death and chaos, perhaps we shouldn't assume that the opposite of that is natural. Perhaps we should look at where there is less suffering and less chaos. And
what do they mean by natural? I never understand this. Like, look, if it can be natural, if we all just like, if we all understand what we'd all like to have happen and then have it happen, right? It's still natural. I don't know. He's saying like it's unnatural to like be good people and like vote for the interests of the entire society rather than devolving into fucking Viking pillage and plunder shit, or like that's what's natural. I don't understand. It's like because both would technically be natural.
And more order and more goodness and more beauty, and say what gets us to that position. How does a society get to the
holy shit, thank you, Hecklick. Just gifted 5 memberships. That's right. So get them while they're hot from the algorithm that randomly gives them out if you're here. But yeah, hopefully you get it and you use it. Tomorrow we will be doing a members only live stream just for members. That's it. So you should get your membership here and hang out tomorrow. I can get through a lot more comments, just so you know. And it's really fun. Jeffrey said, I'm thinking that Trump will set the Republican Party back by a decade. He's setting fucking humanity back by like multiple decades, dude. Like we're about to head into the fucking dark age. Never mind. You know what? I'm not going in on this. We got to move on. Ruslan, talk about anything else to get my mind off this shit.
Position where people have more rights, where people have more freedom, where people have more order. It's not the natural state or the secular humanistic view. It's actually the biblical paradigm that gives people rights and gives people freedom and gives people.
Then why is it always used to oppress people? There, like it's literally being used currently to oppress people. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The Christian model. I mean, I don't know, like where in the Bible does it say like people should have equal rights and shit? It doesn't. It literally has slavery in the fucking Bible, and that never once says that that's an institution that should be abolished. It's kind of just like, hey, everybody has their place. You should just be thankful that your place isn't worse. I guess I don't know if I can just praise God for the nothing that you got. I don't know, but like, was that what like? Because I don't remember the part of the Bible that said everybody should have rights. But
dignity and adds for beauty and goodness and innovation and technology.
It's crazy. They're like, oh, and everybody should have dignity. You're like the ones trying to literally remove that from LGBTQ folks, man. Like, so what the fuck are you talking about? You're actively trying to remove their dignity constantly. Jesus.
And breakthrough. That is the foundation that atheists are standing on. That is the shoulders that we all stand on, the shoulders of giants, so we could see further than those who came before us.
Atheism doesn't have anything to do with that. It's so crazy when they like try to make it like atheism is some moral standpoint, right? When it says nothing about morality at all. Everything that it is about is just whether or not gods exist. That's it, you know. I would say if you if we are, it's like more of a bottom up. Like I was just talking about bottom up, like instructions and how to do stuff. It is like more of a bottom up morality that you would have to kind of adopt because you don't believe that morals come from any gods. So I guess you would have that aspect of it. But technically, atheism doesn't say anything about morality. It would have to be some kind of ethical system, a moral or ethical system that is separate from atheism. It would just be atheism plus that or whatever. Because you're like, okay, there's no God. So now next thing, all right, we have to figure this shit out for ourselves. So next thing, and which I would think would lead to human rights and things like that. Because you're like, hey, no God, nobody's God is real. So we as humans have to figure this out. So let's do that. Let's make the world the best place that we can make it for everybody, without anybody having to claim that gods are the ones that tell us that we should be doing that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And it's just unfortunate that they see this, see the value in it, see the story, it speak to his heart, and he denies the root claims. He denies that there's perhaps something here beyond just myth. And I love C.S. Lewis. He said, when we look at the gospel story, we see a myth that's true. We see a story that's so resounding, but it's the myth that's fact.
We
It's
see
not
the myth that's true. It doesn't that kind of like not qualify it as a myth any longer? Doesn't that change the meaning of the fucking word now? I don't know. Thought myths had to not be true. That's what makes it a myth. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a myth that just happens to be accurate sometimes or something. There we go. All right. So it's the creepy guy from Courage the Cowardly Dog, has a podcast, and he's calling out atheists. I know we're barely getting to this one at the last second here, but that's all right. We'll make our way through it for about another 20 minutes or so.
The best arguments atheists have got. Recently, Alex O'Connor, who is an atheist, was debating 20 Christians on a few topics.
It's weird because I hear people describe him as an agnostic, and then other people I hear call him atheist, and it usually is in terms of like calling him an atheist when it's like, oh, he's wrong, but it's an agnostic whenever he agrees with them. It's funny how that works, you know?
I'm going to go through some of Alex's main arguments because it's likely you're going to hear these objections in the future from skeptics, so it's helpful to know what answer to give to them. Are you ready? Let's go.
I think that if God is all loving, then he probably wouldn't want his creatures to suffer. And so I think that the fact that they do suffer makes his existence less likely. When it comes to animals, they just suffer. And what kind of God could oversee this?
Alex's first claim was that animal suffering makes God's existence unlikely. Alex agrees that human suffering is not incompatible with God because human suffering could have a good purpose for it. But his contention was that animal suffering is incompatible with an all-loving God, and that all-loving God should prevent that.
Because animals are innocent or something. I don't know what his point is here. So we'll figure it out in a second. But let's see. H-Bomber. H-Bomber guy. That sounds really familiar. I'll look into that. Thank you. I always like getting some suggestions here. But yeah, I don't. Oh my gosh, I am like way not sorry. My other computer went down, so I have to like just do this one. I gotta get a new computer. This is getting absurd. My goodness. But here we go.
What none of the Christians dealt with was the assumption that Alex has in his objection, and that was that God is all loving. Yes, we know God is love. The Bible says that. God is very loving, but never uses the phrase all.
Is he though? Like it just says that. It's just like when you just say that it's a thing, but it's not actually a thing. It's like the person that's beating you, but they're like, I do this because I love you. And it's like, but then they're just beating you. Like that doesn't, you're just literally saying love and then behaving in a completely different way. And you're just saying that it is love. Like they're like, God just is love. And then you look at what God does and it's just complete insanity and harmful nonsense. Right. And then they're trying to pick out the good lesson that you could get out of all the slavery and other suffering that, you know, it's insane. But it's like, but he's love. He's love. And a lot of times it's funny because they're like, oh, he's love because you even exist in the first place. You know, you could just not exist. And I'm like, for certain people that like suffered throughout history their entire lives and then died, I think that would have been preferable, you know?
Loving, as if the only thing God can do is to just love somebody. God is more than just love. He's also a God of justice. And so when
I always hear this one, he's a perfectly loving God, but he's also perfectly just. And his frame of justice is everybody's evil. Have you ever thought a lusty thought because you were programmed to by the God that created you to propagate the species? You're evil. Okay. You need forgiveness for that. You deserve to be lit on fire right then. Okay. And cast into the eternal torment right then and there for thinking that lusty thought. But he doesn't. God doesn't do that. That's right. He gives you a chance to be forgiven as long as you ask for the undead carpenter ghost to come into your heart, and you got to repent and stuff. So that's love, dude.
When God sends Satan to hell, is he loving him by sending him to hell, or is he punishing him? He's punishing him.
He's not in hell, dude. That's sort of the problem here. Okay. The place that was made just for Satan and his angels, they're not there. They're not there. He's like, oh shit, I put him on the wrong planet. Like that. Oh, now he's on Earth. Well, I guess I'll just start sending people to the place I didn't make for them, so that they could suffer for all eternity, even though I just made that place for the demons and whatever. It's so stupid. It's like, how did he make a place specifically for demons and Satan, and yet they're here on earth, and yet people who he did not make hell for, they're going to hell right now, according to the doctrine that I was raised with. It's complete fucking backwards nonsense.
Getting what he deserves. And so God doesn't have to show love to every individual at all times in every way. He can choose to show love and even mercy to
So you're just redefining love. Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought you were going to do anyway.
those whom he wants to show mercy to. So, for example, a judge in a court of law, when a judge sends a criminal to prison, is the judge loving the criminal or punishing him? Punishing him because he needs to get what he deserves, and that is right, and that is appropriate. And so God does.
Is he loving and like, okay, but if you add in, see, this is where it like breaks down, because you got like the all loving, all powerful, all knowing, like, and so that means all the bad stuff, that criminal that was going to be doing this thing or whatever could have been stopped by God ahead of time, right? But because he's all powerful, and he doesn't, I don't know. So, and then that individual hurts somebody else, and then so that suffering happens just because there are people that just suffer for no fucking reason. They always forget that part too, right? But it's also like, I don't know. They always have to go into this. Oh, he's a perfect judge. And so that's why it's got to punish people that are bad. But the irony here is that he doesn't. That's the crazy thing, because it doesn't matter what you've done, even if you're fucking Dahmer. If you repent and ask for forgiveness, then you can go to heaven. And so this whole like, oh, he's got to punish the bad people thing just completely falls apart, because he fucking doesn't like punish the bad people. He gives a complete like get out of fucking being held accountable free card like to everybody, as long as they do their religion, which makes morality like completely useless. It has nothing to do with behaving and how to treat other people. It has everything to do with, did you say the repent thing yet or not? And that makes you a good person. Then you can go out and do whatever. Then you just got to repent. Like the behavior has nothing to do with it. So using this as an argument is insane.
Doesn't have to create a world where there is no suffering in it, or suffering that could possibly occur in it. God is under no obligation to have to keep humans or animals alive any amount of time. But yet what God did make in the
I
beginning.
don't know why this guy, the way he talks, it just sounds like a creeper, dude. I don't know. It sounds like he's the type of guy that just hangs out at the park without any kids. he's just there at the playground. And all the parents of the kids are like, let's actually go to a different playground. No, it's nice meeting you. Yeah, you're a nice guy. Okay, yeah, let's go. Don't talk to that guy. Don't look at him. Did he try to give you candy? He did. I knew it. Let's get out of here. That guy's psycho. Jesus. Oh man.
Was a world without suffering, without death. There was actually no death of animals or humans prior to the fall. That is when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It was humanity's sin that brought in death, suffering, and disease.
All right. Yeah. Was the talking snake convincing the woman made of a rib to eat the magical fruit? And that's why, obviously. I mean, come on, that fucking bitch. Jesus Christ, man. What the hell?
So when you understand the background information, you see God has not failed in creating a good universe. It's that humans have failed to follow a good God in his instruction.
It's our fault that God. I swear, this is like being like if there was the person who set up the dog fighting ring, and then the cops just show up and they're like, it's the dog's fault, man. Okay, they're the ones biting each other. Okay, they're the ones acting like fucking assholes, just violently attacking each other. And you're like, oh, so you set up the dog fighting ring, but it's the dog's fault? And they're like, that's actually right. Yes, it is. The dog's okay. Well, all right, dogs, we're taking you in. Handcuff them. It's like gonna be really cute, actually. Just putting you have like little tiny mini handcuffs so you can put on tail. That's adorable. Okay, put them on the guy. Still gotta get them out of here.
To them. But Alex's objection would likely be, but animals didn't sin. Only humans did. So why do animals have to face suffering?
Because God set up the fucking environment, man. What are you talking about? This is the dumbest. This is so stupid, dude. It's just like, I didn't do that. It's this feels so conservative. I don't know. That's their personal responsibility there. We don't have to do anything, okay? Like us politicians, we don't have to fix systems. If everybody would just act perfect all the time, we wouldn't need these systems to like help people. So I don't even know why I'm a politician at all. Like, guys, my whole thing is I just be better, people. Take some personal responsibility down there, okay, and stop being bad, all right? And then we wouldn't need politicians at all, and I can just keep on not doing anything because it's not my responsibility as a politician. It's yours as an individual. God damn it.
In this world. Now, that is true. Animals have not sinned because they're not moral creatures like we are as humans. So God will not hold animals accountable for what they do here. There's not a hell for animals. Yet people's
Why not? Like it's like, well, because they don't reason or something. It's like, okay, but they're just doing like shit that they need to do to survive, which is anyway, I don't know. And you could see that as being like, that's very immoral what they have to do to survive. And that's sort of anyway.
actions can affect the environment they're in and also others around them. For example, if your parents lost all their money in a bad venture, that now means they can't buy you the expensive clothing anymore. Their actions have now affected you. Or think of this analogy. If you were granted permission to live in someone's house, rent-free, beautiful house, as long as you kept their house rules, as long as you needed it for. But instead of keeping the rules, you decide to break the house rules, trash the place, break the windows, poke a hole in the roof. Firstly, the owner...
With poking a hole in the... Like, first of all, what's the point? They're just doing that for no reason. They're just like, I'm going to be... I actually... Today, we're going to throw a big party. But before that, I kind of want to poke some holes in the ceiling. Do you guys want to... No? You want to get the jackhammer out? This will be fun. This will be fun. What are they, jackass? Like, what the fuck is happening?
The owner of the house would be angry at you. But if they let you still live there for a while longer, you now have to live in a house that's got broken windows. Now it's got the hole in the roof, so you get wet when it rains. Your actions have brought, in a way, suffering to all the individuals in the house, whether humans...
It's just a way to like get the responsibility off of the all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving, and all-good God, whatever. It's like but your landlord isn't all-powerful. If your landlord was fucking all-powerful, he could snap his fingers and fix all the fucking windows. Okay, that's where this all falls apart. The magic, okay, which is always where it falls apart because magic is silly. That's why it's not real. But jeez Louise, the depths they will dive to try to make this shit make sense is just incredible to me. Anarchic Fox, what's up, dude? I didn't see you there. Said Ryan Jones, given the behavior of God in the Bible, it certainly seems God has some self-esteem issues and thus does not believe in him. That's funny. I was just watching a video last night of Aaron Ra. Aaron Ra was on a call-in show. I just checked in for a few minutes. Him and I want to say a doctor woman. I can't think of her name. Anyway, but they were talking about exactly that why is God so insecure? And it was just so funny to hear him, the people try to defend their very insecure God by being like, no, he's the most secure. Okay, everybody that is secure demand worship. That's why they're shit. Okay, hold on. Now it does kind of feel weird to have to just demanding that people do worship you and stuff. It's just kind of insane, dude. Like this is such a weird thing to even think about. But yeah, it's because God's insecure. That's exactly it. Skeptically pissed. What's up, dude? So I find a lot of animals more immoral than most theists. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, dogs. There was a dog got that kid out of that well that one time. So yeah, that's pretty moral, right? I don't know I'm trying to think of another example. Has anybody got any? Anyway, comment below with an example of animals being more moral than people. Okay. Ryan said, I hate when they say it's God's house. It's God's house. Yeah, so basically he has kidnapped us and forcing us to worship him or we get punished. Yeah. But it's our fault for not worshiping him. I know. It's such a screwy way of thinking about everything. And it's so just obviously made in a way that's just like, just believe the thing, just just feel guilty for just being here, whatever, just feel bad. Believe that you deserve to just be punished for nothing. Okay. And then I'll give you, listen to me. I know the book better than you do. Give me the authority over you, and so on and so forth. And that's and then you can control people with that. It's like, oh, don't I thought you said you believe the book that I know better about than you. So that you got to do what I tell you because I believe the book better. And so it's just this method of fucking control. But this is the kind of mental I don't know, just nonsense that they have to put people through in order to try to make sense of this fucking nonsense.
Or even the pets or animals that you might have. So God has made a good universe in the beginning, and he allowed us to live here rent-free. He just gave us some rules.
It would have been weird if he started charging Adam and Eve rent. It's okay, now get to fucking work, okay? Like that popsicle stand isn't gonna run itself. Get out there, okay? Well, oh, you don't have a freezer. Yeah, not my problem. Not my problem. Okay, figure out how to freeze stuff, then get your popsicle stand out there and start fucking selling it. Well, sell it to the animals. I don't care. What the fuck?
And we've all chosen to intentionally break them. And as a result, we have to face the consequences for that. And that is now we live in a world which is fallen, where there is suffering and death for all of creation.
There is suffering and death. God, you're creepy. You're so creepy.
It would be wrong for you to blame the owner of the house for the damage you caused. And so it'd be wrong for us to blame God for the damage we've caused to his universe.
The difference is, good God, the difference is that the owner of the house created the people to do the things that the people do. That's not the same. Like, that would make it their fault, like his fault, because he created the people, right? And it's so stupid. It's just, and he knows what they're going to choose too. That's the other thing. It's like if the house owner made robots that were people, knew what they were going to decide because he's the one who made them. Then when the robots break the windows, he blames the robots and sets them on fire and goes, naughty, naughty robots. That's what it's more like, man. You're making me take this metaphor to a stupid degree, but that's why I shouldn't do metaphors in this way, man.
Now, someone may say, but God could have prevented it. That is true. But God had a plan of glorifying himself through the fall and through a redemption that he'd provide.
Prideful piece of shit, glorifying himself like that, dude. Why? How come people can't glorify themselves? Otherwise, they're evil, and it's just this icky. This guy feels like narcissistic, even.
In Jesus, what people intended for evil, God turns around for good. Think of the crucifixion as a good example of that. These people wanted to get rid of Jesus, crucified him to a cross, and yet that was now the very means that God saves humanity from the punishment for their sins if they would put their trust in Jesus.
God, it's so delusional. My goodness. He's like, look, a good example of torture murder actually being awesome. Okay, that's the best torture murder that you can have, and it's hey, that's God. Gotta torture murder shit, because otherwise, can't forgive people or something. It makes sense. You just don't think about it. Just stop thinking about it. Okay, jeez Louise. Insanity. All right, let me look at some of these comments, and then we're gonna have to wrap her up here. But if you want to wrap her up in dildos, well, you wouldn't wrap you'd wrap yourself around the dildo. Yeah. If you want to wrap yourself around dildos, go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley. AdamandEve.com is America's #1 sex toy dispensary. They have everything from lubes that warm and anal sex toys to BDSM beatdown stuff with restraints, all the good stuff. That's the good stuff right there. But yeah, they got it all. Go to AdamandEve.com. Enter that code word Brentley. And the packaging is discreet, so you don't have to worry about it saying it's got BDSM beatdown toys in there, letting everybody know what you like doing. It doesn't say that on the box. It's discreet, and as Andrew pointed out, if you do have a roommate that opens up your packaging, that is a federal offense. So that should take care of that. Okay. But some roommates are just awful anyway. But yeah, go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley, and get your butt some stuff. Okay. Right there. So I feel like that worked pretty good. Let me get the last couple of comments, and then I said, well, oh yeah, if you want to like Debbie, I'd appreciate that. Thank you, Wolfos. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's see, Skeptically Pissed said, wasn't that God's plan to kill himself to redeem people for rules he created? Yeah, it kind of falls apart when you put it in those terms. It's weird when you can, if you just describe what it is using words that aren't their like super reverent words, it sounds completely fucking batshit, but the way they describe it, for some reason, I mean, it still sounds batshit. It really does. But like, it's a familiar batshit. So it's not as, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as, it sounds like, oh, I guess that's plausible. It's not plausible. But I was just raised hearing it so often that it sounded like it was plausible. And I would have, if you would have asked me as a kid, whether or not like God sacrificing himself to himself, to convince himself to save everybody from himself, or whatever. I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. Like that's it. I mean, of course, I wouldn't have put it in those terms, like I'm saying, because that makes it sound silly. That's that reductio ad absurdum shit or whatever. But they constantly call that a straw man. It's not. It's not a straw man. Just using words that are different than you like to describe the thing. Okay. You don't have to like all the words. All right. As long as the concept is the concept, the law of identity. Anyway, never mind. But Logan said, also, you've never met the landlord and never actually fixes things, just tells you they will get better. That's a good point, too. Yeah, this is a world where there is no landlord. There's just people saying that he's out there. He's out there. He owns the property. Okay, no. Well, somebody did see him a long time. And get this, he came back to life. Yeah, no, they killed him. I don't know. He was too nice or something, and then they killed him. And then he came back to life. Yeah, that happened 2,000 years ago. And this is his house. Like, yeah, it just doesn't work. It falls apart pretty quickly here. Let's see. Is that a square haircut? A square. It's a square cut. Is really what we call it. Yeah, I guess it kind of is, isn't it? Kind of looks like a. It looks weird. I don't know. He looks like an evil character from a movie. He looks like he's a bad guy in Game of Thrones. I don't know. He looks like he's, with that flayed man. What was that house with the flayed man on the X or whatever? Like, I feel like he'd be at that house. I don't know. Ace said, I don't know. My cat seems like a judgmental bat. They do seem judgmental. They got a fucking attitude problem, and I don't like it. Okay. Very, very unlike dogs. Okay. Dogs are always in a good mood. They always want to build you up, make you feel better for being a person. Cat, the opposite. They're like, I don't fucking need your dumb ass. And then they walk off. And then while they're doing that, they knock off your favorite ornament just right off the ledge there. And while they're making eye contact, while they're doing it, they just, what? Do something, bitch. I don't need you. and like, all right, that's it. I hate cats. That's all that is. Anyway, but thank y'all so much for hanging out. And if you want to play with things hanging out, you know where to go. AdamandEve.com. Enter that code word Brentley at checkout. If you want to support us, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, AdamandEve.com, and entering that code word Brentley at checkout. Or you can do a bunch of other shit, right? Patreon.com/Punk Apostate. Got all sorts of old stuff. I actually might be reprising my own podcast there with my old lady, and we're gonna be hanging out talking politics every so often. That's coming soon. But anyway, so yeah, get ready for that. But also, if you want to just do a one-time thing on Cash App, I get it. I don't like stuff coming out of my account either. But if you want to support the show, but you don't want something coming out of your account, one-time thing on Cash App, cash tags, Punk Apostate, real easy. Anything helps at this point, seriously. I'm in Florida, and I can't really say anything about that. Now the entire country is Florida as far as like the price is going crazy. But yeah, but if you want to become a member, you can hit that join button, right? There's a little button down there that says join, and you can get an extra live stream once every 2 weeks, twice a month. And you also get a bunch of all the other videos early, as well as a bunch of streams that as soon as they're done, go to members only. There's I want to say I don't know, two out of 5 streams will go to members only immediately after. So if you catch it live, you get it. But if not, then it goes straight to members. But members get access to all of the stuff plus some. So and plus one that's just for them. So yeah. But if you want to email me, punkapostate@gmail.com, let me know if you got a deconstruction and deconversion story. I love hearing those. Really do appreciate it. As well as just anything that I'm getting wrong or I'm not focusing on or anything like that. Just let me know. I like to update my position if I'm wrong. But you can also join the Discord, and you can also follow me on all my socials. All the links will be below. But yeah, thank you all so much again for hanging out. This is super fun. And hey, the main thing is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time.